It's getting close to the end of 2018, and it's been a very busy past 2 weeks for me. I mean, it's the time of the year where everything starts to wind down and you're trying to wrap up stuff before the year end. And here in South Africa, especially, schools break for their annual summer holidays. And so do most parents as well, trying to get in as much done before the end of the year and before they go on leave. So it's been quite a hectic past 2 weeks. I've been watching a very interesting show on Netflix, a documentary called The Keepers over the past week. It's the story about the unsolved murder in 1969 of Sister Cathy Cesnick. It's a 7-part series that delves into the allegations of unthinkable sexual assault perpetrated by a trusted father at the all-girls Catholic high school where Sister Cesnick used to work. Now, there's much speculation that the nun was going to expose the father, and this is probably what could have led to her murder. But the point I'm trying to make here is that despite all these allegations against Father Joseph Maskell, he was moved around within the church district of Baltimore for quite a number of years while these allegations and investigations were going on. Now, the Archdiocese of Baltimore tweeted that, a few years ago, I think it was last year, that although it did not deny allegations of child abuse against Father Joseph Maskell, the premise and conclusion of Ryan White's documentary, The Keepers, series were wrong, as they said. And so the church immediately went to defense attack mode. The response to this whole saga is appalling. It is all about protecting the reputation of the church. Now, back in the 1990s, a senior sergeant on the Victoria Police Force attempted to charge a bishop with covering up the crimes of a pedophile priest. And he, a few years ago, broke his silence, saying that the Catholic Church he encountered was more concerned with brand protection than protecting vulnerable children. Now, Chris O'Connor, who led the force's child exploitation squad in the 90s, worked on Operation Arcadia, an ultimately unsuccessful attempt to prosecute Bishop Ronald Mulkerns for moving Gerald Francis Ridsdale from parish to parish in the Ballarat diocese, where the priest was able to abuse hundreds of children, for years. And O'Connor said, in today's parlance, the Catholic Church was more concerned about its name, its organization, its brand, than it was about the very reason for it being. And that was the protection of the most vulnerable that were under its guidance. They keep moving these priests around parishes despite the allegations and evidence against many of these men of the cloth. And we've seen that in the media time and time again. Now, this is exactly the same with the Watchtower organization. They are not so different to the Catholic Church in the child sexual abuse cases. In many cases, members of Jehovah's Witnesses who have been accused of sexual abuse and molestation have been moved from kingdom hall to kingdom hall without proper reporting to the authorities. And this is why the Watchtower has been in the spotlight in recent times. This has been happening for decades. Their inner workings and cover-ups have been exposed. Their despicable two-witness rule protects the perpetrators and shames the victims. And this, of course, has led to, as we know now, court cases and judgments against the organization where millions of dollars have had to be paid out to victims. The leadership of the Jehovah's Witnesses has boldly defied court orders to turn over the names and their records and whereabouts of alleged child sexual abusers across the United States. Since 2014, courts have slapped the Jehovah's Witnesses parent corporation, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of New York, with multi-million-dollar judgments and sanctions for violating orders to hand over these secret documents. Now, the documents could serve as a roadmap to what are likely thousands of alleged child abusers living freely in communities across the country who still could be abusing kids at this very time. The files include the names of known and suspected perpetrators, the locations of their congregations, and the descriptions of their alleged crimes. Now, a lawyer who was working on one of the cases, Erwin Zalkin, says, and I quote, he says, "I've been practicing law for 37 years, and I've never seen anything like it." And he represented victims of child sexual abuse by Jehovah's Witnesses. They do everything to protect the reputation of the organization over the safety of the children. So, again, the Watchtower Corporation is not so different to the Catholic Church. It's all about protecting the brand. It's all about protecting the name of the organization. And that's first and foremost that's happening within the congregations. The perpetrators are protected, and the victims are made to feel, they are the ones that were the cause of the whole situation. And of course, we know many of these people who speak out are either shunned or disfellowshipped and so forth. It is costing them, the Jehovah's Witnesses, 4,000 Rand per day for withholding these files. Now, this is the message I want to give every Catholic and every Jehovah's Witness or any other member of any other institution or church where child sexual abuse cover-ups have come to light. Your continued monetary donations, tithes, and your time and the energy you spend in support of these institutions is going towards supporting the payouts and fighting lawsuits, defending the cover-ups, and shaming the victims. That is the message I want you to take away from this. So if you're a Jehovah's Witness or a Catholic listening into this, your money that you donate to these institutions goes towards the payouts and settling these child abuse cases. This was my last show for 2018. I will be back on the 10th of January 2019. I will be taking a much needed break over the holiday season. And yes, I will be celebrating Christmas. My Christmas tree is up and there are presents underneath it. So we will be having an exJW Christmas lunch at our place with friends and family. And I've always loved Christmas. I mean, to me, it's all about family and sharing and showing unconditional love towards one another. And that's what's important to me. I'm also aware that there are those of you former Jehovah's Witnesses who may not be spending time with family due to their shunning practice. And I will be raising a glass to you, acknowledging your courage in speaking out and your resolve to live your truth, although you have lost family in the process. So, until next year, happy holidays and be safe. As I said, I will be taking a much needed break. And yeah, to you and yours, wherever you are, happy holidays and have a very good Christmas. Bye for now.